My cousin killed herself after Omegle vanished. I opened her iPad and discovered why, and it destroyed me. Okay, so picture this, right? Her login still remembered everything. Chats, tags, screenshots, all there. My hands went cold at once. I mean, where do you start? With the note, or the logs? And here's where it gets worse. A system message sat on screen from November 3rd. Service discontinued due to exploitation and abuse. Under it, bookmarks to save transcripts. Every link dead. Folder names listed series names and nightly times. Document proof, right there in her folders. 12 years. Most nights. No breaks, her uncle called me that night. He breathes into the phone. She kept saying it is gone. I gripped the counter. Gone how? His voice thinned. Her place online, that site. My throat tightened. Omegle. She thinks it is forever, he said. I entered her notes and scrolled. There were interest tags arranged by fandom. Account of nightly sessions since high school. 12 years, 4 months, 2 weeks documented. 3 to 5 hours, average weekday. Notes of panic on shutdown day. 72 failed links marked grief. At this point, I'm done. The crisis counselor leaned over the table. One more night without contact, she could die. Her tone went clinical. We see copycat spikes. Reach her or call mobile crisis. Do not leave her alone tonight. Missing that window is permanent. I dialed every number they gave. Waitlists are 8 to 12 weeks. The line clicked, then silence. I emailed her therapist. Auto reply. Out until Monday, use 911. I messaged her again on Signal delivered. Not read. Nothing else. I just stood there thinking. If the system stalls, what now? Part of me wanted to scream. Part of me wanted to run. Instead, I grabbed my coat. I drove to her parents. Her mother opened, eyes rimmed red. I know what you're thinking. Too late, too little, pointless. You're not wrong, but listen. Her dad gripped the doorframe. She went to her room. Can I see her? He nodded, jaw locked. Keep your voice low. From the hall, a voice trembled. Don't be mad. I stepped into her doorway with care. She sat cross-legged on carpet. The tablet lay there. I crouched and met her eyes level, and that is when it happened. She turned the screen toward me. A draft note. Glowed. Unsent. It is gone, and I'm empty. Her voice was thin, reached me. I can't breathe when nights start. No more strangers, no more me. I swallowed hard and listened. The next line stopped my lungs. If it stays gone, I'll go. I touched her shoulder once. You're here, with us tonight. She stared at the wall. Only until the lights turn, then it gets loud again. Her hands just started shaking. I took the iPad in hand. I opened files and notes. There was a voice memo. I tapped play and froze. Her recorded voice filled the room. To whoever finds this, I'm doing the math nightly. 12 years of company erased. Breath caught on the file. I can't replace it. No usernames. No bridges out. I paused the memo and exhaled once. You know that feeling when gravity spikes? Your chest compresses against nothing. That hit and held me down. I opened her browser history. It showed nightly windows past midnight. Streams, art boards, quiet fandom rooms. But Omegle had been everything. I slid into the chair. We can find alternatives. Discords feel crowded and fake. Reddit, maybe. Or group chats. She shook her head hard. People judge me there. Then I understood the shape. She needed strangers without history. She needed exits with one click. And now the door was locked. I gathered her scattered notebooks in a stack. I photographed the tag lists. I posted calls on fandom boards. I wrote, without names or details, looking for lost Omegle regulars. A mod pinged within minutes. Proof. Your family. I sent the tag photo. I knew her as Night Owl. She drew my avatar once. My eyes stung hard. We set up a temporary server. We named it Lost Rooms. People trickled in through tags. Familiar art styles appeared overnight. I carried my phone upstairs. She sat wrapped in a blanket. I held out the screen. Some folks found you. Found me how? They know your art. She lifted the blanket edge. I don't want pity. I wondered if pity felt safer, or if attention cut instead. She didn't join that night. I left the invite anyway. I waited. 3 days later, my phone rang. Unknown number, same area code. I answered on the second vibration. A paramedic asked for me. You're listed as emergency contact. My knees hit the floor. Is she alive? We're working on her now. Where are you? County Hospital, intake bay 2. I drove without blinking. Every light turned red anyway. I parked crooked and ran. A nurse blocked the door with a hand. Family of Mara Lou? Yes, me. She glanced at my ID. They're trying to stabilize her. What happened? Rescue found her in time. My chest pounded against my ribs. I pressed my palms together. I thought about the memo. About the door that vanished. About those tags, compass points. The doctor approached, face drawn. She coded, but came back. She is in critical observation. Can I see her? 1 minute, no devices. I scrubbed my hands and entered. She lay still under warm blankets. Her eyelids flickered at my voice. I'm here, and we're staying. We'll build you another room. A tear slid without warning. The monitor chirped and steadied. Her fingers twitched around mine. Don't tell them about Omegle. I leaned closer to hear. They'll laugh. They'll judge me. My jaw locked hard. Will you let me help? She stared past me, unblinking. If it is gone forever, so am I. The psychiatrist met me outside the room, her clipboard tucked tight to her chest. She meant it, she said. Acute risk remains high. My ribs seemed to shrink. What keeps her here then? Connection tonight, her voice steadied. A plan she believes in. I walked back in with a plan. Okay, so here's the thing. I pulled a chair close to her bed. We can't revive Omegle. It is gone, she whispered, but we can rebuild rituals. I opened my phone to the server. Night rooms at set hours. Anonymous handles, rotating keys. She watched the screen, unmoving. No judgment, one-click exits. No archives, no pressure, just presence. Her breath eased a notch. Who joins? The same ghosts you miss. I nodded toward the invite, and new ones who understand loss. I messaged the mod team. I created check-in channels by hour. I scheduled nightly windows at 10, midnight, and 2. I asked a volunteer to sit with her. A nurse wheeled in a charger. The psychiatrist leaned in again. If she senses surveillance, she'll bolt. Then we make it hers, I replied. She sets the rules, not me. The nurse glanced at us both. One device, supervised usage. Fine, I said, hand steady now. We start with voice only. Mara stared at the wall clock. 10 is soon. We can hold until then. I checked the queue of users. Dozens waited with muted mics. Handles hummed across the screen. Night Owl, you hear. Her chest rose and fell quicker. They know my handle still. I tilted the phone slightly away. Join when you want to, or just listen from here. A chirp signaled 10 at last. The mod opened the room softly. Welcome wanderers, her voice warm. Tonite is for lost doors. She continued without names or questions. We breathe for 8 counts together. We remember the nightly roads. We build a lantern and pass it. Mara's thumb hovered above join. A minute passed. Another minute passed. I waited without moving my face. Her finger tapped join at last. A chime marked a new presence. She didn't speak for 5 minutes. A voice in the room floated. I used to meet you nightly. You drew my cat once. Another voice followed, shaky. We shared silence, remember. 3 nights a week, 2 years. I watched her jaw loosen slightly. Her hand unclenched on the blanket. She unmuted for 3 words. I miss you. The room hushed at once. Then a dozen voices answered gently. We're here, Night Owl. We're here. Part of me wanted to collapse. Part of me wanted to hold the phone forever. Instead, I watched the monitor numbers. I breathed with the room count. At midnight, the nurse stepped in. Time to rest, she murmured. Mara's eyes flashed with alarm. Please, just a little longer. The nurse considered the vitals. 5 minutes, she said. No video, keep voices low. We cut the lights to dim. The mod guided a short ritual. 3 things you can touch. 2 things you can hear. 1 thing you can control tonight. Mara spoke barely above breath. I can control when I mute. The room murmured, yes, you can. The next morning, the social worker arrived. A tablet under her arm. We'll build a safety plan. She unfolded a paper with boxes, frequencies, names, and times listed. I need specifics, she started. What helps, what harms, when? I pointed to the server schedule. 10, midnight 2, I said. 30 minutes each, peer supported. Backup contact if room fails. Mara watched, wary but listening. The worker's pen moved quickly. Triggers include night silence and loss. Protective factors include art and peers. Crisis steps include 988, my jaw unclenched a little. We'll print copies for home. Then her insurance kicked in, and that's where it gets messy. A discharge coordinator pulled me aside. She doesn't meet inpatient criteria. She attempted 2 nights ago. Stabilized. No current plan, he replied. High pressure on beds this week. My hands went cold again. She'll die if nights collapse. He shrugged without meeting my eyes. We'll arrange partial program. 4 hours daily, weekdays only. Nights are on you, family. I just stared, thinking honestly. If the system won't hold nights, I will. I called her aunt and uncle. We divided the night windows. I'll take 10 every night. Her uncle gripped the phone tightly. I'll cover midnight. Her aunt cleared her throat. I'll text at 2 quietly. We rotate. We stay reachable. Back in the room, I crouched again. They're pushing discharge soon. Today. Her voice thinned immediately. We have partial days approved. She turned away toward the wall. The nights will swallow me. I raised the phone to eye level. We built rails already. 3 windows. No judgment. She shut her eyes tight. I need strangers. I know, I answered. And we made room for them. We were ready by afternoon. I signed a stack of papers. Cordless chargers, timers, and headsets. A case manager reviewed restrictions. No unmoderated platforms or roulette. We'll monitor logs weekly. Mara's shoulders rose defensively. Don't police my breathing. The case manager softened her voice. We're not punishing you. We're matching support to need. This plan keeps you home. The psychiatrist stepped back in. Your art can anchor nights. Stream while you draw. Let the strangers keep pace. Mara stared at the ceiling tiles. Maybe. We packed her tote quietly. The only micro detail I noticed was a cracked phone case. She traced the line without thinking. I did that months ago, when I thought I'd never break. That first discharge night tested everything. I brewed tea and muted alerts. I placed her sketchbook near the mic. At 10, the room lit up. The mod spoke like a friend. Welcome home again, travelers. Mara drew lines without lifting. Describe your lines, someone asked. She didn't look up. They're cliffs facing water. There's a rope between them. A listener replied gently. Walk the rope with us. We'll look down together. The first week lulled us into hope, nights filled, voices braided across hours. Her lines became softer cliffs. I kept watch through every window now. I know what you're thinking. Success too fast rarely holds, and that's exactly what happened next. At midnight on a Friday, the room cracked. A flood of new handles surged in, chat filled with mocking lines. Omegle orphans. Get over it. My chest tightened while bands flew. The mod team worked in bursts. We muted, kicked, and locked channels. Then the platform bot chimed. Server flagged for unsafe content. Access suspended pending review. And that's when everything fell apart. Mara's text arrived instantly. It's happening again. Another ping followed harder. The door is gone. My fingers went numb instantly. I tried the backup room. Same suspension notice stared back. I called her on speaker. I'm on my way now. Her breathing rushed in my ear. Don't hang up, please. I grabbed the keys and moved. I slipped shoes on without socks. One micro detail flashed. Her sketchbook lay open on the table with a charcoal smudge. I shut the door behind me. I jogged to the car. The screen lit the dark console. Stay with me. I'm here. It's too quiet, she whispered. It's too wide and quiet. My jaw locked under the words. I turned onto her street fast. Her porch light was still off. I rang and then knocked twice. She opened with damp hair. No shoes, wrapped in yesterday's hoodie. Her eyes tracked my face. Did you find another door? Not yet, I answered gently. But I brought the car. We drove without choosing direction. The roads were mostly empty. Where are we going? Anywhere with humming people. A diner, maybe, I said. Or the hospital lot. She pressed forehead to glass. If someone laughs, I'll leave. We'll sit where no one sees. We pulled behind a 24-hour diner. Neon buzzed above the alley. We'll keep the line open. I set my phone to speaker. I called 2 mods directly. One picked up half awake. I can host a bridge. His voice steadied as he spoke. Pure dial in, rotating passcodes. We won't use the platform. Use old school conference lines. Mara watched my hands move. Is that real privacy? We can drop at any time. No archives, no recordings, he said. Just a shared line and time. She nodded once, barely visible. Give me a handle for tonight. We sat in silence while it spun. He texted a number and code. I balanced the phone on the dash. You can join or listen. You can leave whenever you want, she whispered. What if trolls find it? New code every hour, I replied. There's a waiting room gate. Her breath slowed at last. I tapped to enter the bridge. A soft tone confirmed entry. A voice filtered through gently. Lantern check. Who's here? I swallowed and leaned back. 2 sitting in a car were holding a night rope. Pause, then another voice chimed. I'm walking the rope too. A third added. Me also, present. Mara cleared her throat once. Night owl, partial present. The bridge held steady minutes. When she spoke again, it landed. I'm drawing with my voice. We stayed until 2 past. Then the line thinned and closed. Her shoulders dropped and stayed dropped. She leaned into the seat. Will they come back tomorrow? They wrote the times down. 10, midnight, and 2 still. She pressed her palms together. I could sleep if the rope stays. It will, I told her softly. We drove back while morning edged. I walked her to the door. Text when you wake later. She nodded, hand on the knob. Don't build this around me. We build it with you, I answered. She paused, then went inside. By afternoon, trust and safety answered. The server suspension notice changed. Registered with warnings. The ticket read. Avoid third-party roulette terms. Explicitly ban reenactment of Omegle. The mod pinged me separately. They think loss is roleplay. We need clearer language now. I rewrote every visible rule. Grief for vanished spaces allowed. No mention of matching platforms. Anonymous social contact framed as wellness. It felt ridiculous and necessary. I mean, think about it. We were using synonyms to mourn, but the room reopened at 10. She joined under a new alias. A chorus welcomed her home. We missed you, Cliff Walker. I watched from my couch quietly, and for a handful of nights it worked. Then insurance struck from another angle. Her partial program cut hours, attendance low, the coordinator noted. Outcomes require daytime groups. We asked about night support coverage, not reimbursable, the email read. Recommend sleep hygiene materials. Sleep hygiene, right? My hands went cold again. I called her psychiatrist immediately. We met on a quick video. Nights are the treatment, I argued. Remove that, and risk spikes. The doctor's voice stayed calm. I wrote medical necessity notes, but insurers love checklists. Can you document outcomes nightly? I can log participation and distress. Do that, she replied. We'll stack paper until they fold. So we built a nightly ledger. Room opened, bodies present, minutes counted. We tracked panic scale numbers. We tracked when she drew. We tracked when she ate crackers. It felt human and artificial together. Still, it kept her covered. Around then, her uncle faltered at midnight. He texted me apologizing for sleeping. At 12:30, her name flashed. Phone ringing, no answer. Her message read. Every muscle tensed in one instant. I called, and it rang out. I knocked a minute later. No movement behind the door. I slid my phone under it. The screen glowed against wood. If you see the light, knock twice. Silence stood still. I pressed my ear hard. 2 faint taps reached me. Air returned to my lungs. Open. I'm staying right here. The deadbolt clicked slowly. She stood with her blanket. I thought I was back alone. I lifted my phone to show,